Welcome to the Neurogenic Integration Podcast, where we explore the incredible potential of neurogenic tremoring beyond the basics. I'm Alex Greene.
And I am Sivia Song-Shields. Together, we'll be diving into how this natural, innate process can be seen and applied across different professions, healing modalities, and in scientific research.
Whether you're a practitioner, a coach, a therapist, a body worker, or a researcher, this podcast is for you.
Join us as we uncover the science, share experiences, and explore how neurogenic integration is revolutionizing the way we approach stress, trauma, and well-being.
So take a breath, get comfortable, and let's dive in. All right. Hello, everybody. Let's see, what's the date today? It's January 9th in 2026. And when we're recording this, and I'm sitting down this morning for me in evening time for Raluca. But I am sitting with Oltita Raluca. She is in Brasov, Romania. I'm in Boulder, Colorado, where I normally am. And Oltita is, Brasov is a city in kind of the mountain region of Romania. And I know it a little bit because last April, I went there to talk about TRE and tremoring for the Upledger Romania community, the group who does craniosacral therapy. So I got to spend about 1 week touring the very, very lovely city and town of Brasov about a year ago. So that was exciting. But in any case, I was introduced to Oltita through Dr. Brasov, the founder of TRE, and he was in Romania recently, this in late 2025, for a gathering of the community there. And coming back, he said, Alex, you really need to connect with Oltita. She's doing very cool work with TRE and its connection with the fascial system, the myofascia in the body. And she would be a wonderful person to interview. So that's the story and so I wrote to Oltita and she said, yes, of course, I'll have a conversation. So here we are today. But just briefly about Oltita. So she is a full-time TRE provider based in Romania. She found TRE in 2015 personally, but then began her certification in 2019 and finished that certification in 2021. And then in the course of her time full-time as a provider, she has also developed a specialization both for herself personally, but now she's bringing it to her clients with working with the fascia through different techniques, so-called fascial maneuvers or things like that. So that's part of what we're going to be discussing today is the connection. Why should we think about the fascial system when it comes to the neurogenic tremoring of TRE? So anyway, that's my introduction. Oltita, thank you so much for taking time for a conversation today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for your invitation. Hello, everyone. I will expose myself just like that. I'm a little bit nervous. So yes. Yeah. I will make a correction. I was an accountant until 2015, and I met TRE in 2019 when I started suddenly my certification.
Wonderful. Well, I wonder if that's where we could actually begin, Oltita. I always like to hear from anybody. It's like, how did you learn about TRE? Why did it speak to you? It spoke to you enough that you became a certified provider and a full-time practitioner. So what was it about TRE that grabbed your interest back in 2019?
So as I said, I was an accountant until 2015. Then something spoke to me, I don't know from where, and said, this is not gonna work anymore. I was pregnant with my second child, and I quit my job, and we moved with the family. We moved off-grid. We started to homeschool kids, and there was nothing in front of in my career. But we said it's not gonna work anymore like it used to. So we made the decision. I left my profession. We moved in the countryside, living off grid with the support of our parents. At the time, I started to train myself to become trainer in excellence education, because I was interested in educating my kids, and that at that moment I started to train myself in that direction. But in 2019, I was working with my mentor in a workshop, The Desire of the Heart, and at that time in March 2019, I had my first TRE session, and it was love at first sight. It felt like let's say like a meeting that I was waiting for, but never knowing that it was about to come. So after that workshop, I was searching for a certification program. At first, I was a little bit scared because it looked like a master or something.
Yeah.
Like working for master degree.
Yeah.
It scared me at the beginning, but it was so strong that I have to do this, that I I continued, and I started my certification program in June, and became June 2019, and became a certificated provider in March 2021 in a plain pandemic situation.
I was going to say, I want how did I mean, I remember that time period too, and a lot of disruption in how the trainings were happening. What happened? Did your training get disrupted, or did it move into an online, or?
No, I had the chance. For module 1 was in June 2019. Module 2 was in September 2019, and after that, all the certification was online, because my mentor Fiona was my mentor. I did all the case studies and supervisions online. So my certification was in Bucharest.
Yeah,
with her.
right. Very cool. Well, so backing up a moment. So you said, you didn't know you were going to have this encounter that you were waiting for, and it was love at first sight, which sounds wonderful, but I feel like I want to know a little bit more about that. Like, why was it love at first sight? What was those, your early sessions or that first workshop? Why was this so powerful for you?
I thought all the time about myself, that I'm a mental person. And I discovered at that time that I'm a bodily person. So at that moment, my mind blew up, everything disappeared, and everything in the body became pleasure. And it was like a paradox. That's how I felt at that moment.
Yep.
And it was very powerful.
So you felt that just tremendous connection to your body, but also the
Yes,
pleasure, maybe the aliveness, all of this was in kind of part of your experience.
yes. A lot of
Yeah.
aliveness, yes. And it was paradox for my mental background.
Yep. Yep. I can relate. Yeah. Similar for me too. Yep. I remember that feeling as well. Very cool. Okay. Well, so let's talk about I don't know. So like, you were nervous to do the certification program because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of study. What was it like for you? Like, how was it to go from being, you definitely spoke to you. You had a totally different professional background. But then you went for 2 years through the certification journey. What did you learn during that process about yourself, or what?
Ooh, I learned about my limits and my limitations. I learned about beliefs, how many beliefs I had, and how they changed during my personal practice. How I relate with people, how my relation with other people change, how I perceive things about myself and about the world around me. This is like a big picture. But beyond that, my health became better, my sleep became better, the limits of my body, I was aware of that, of the limits of my body. Natural changes came into my life, and I was doing my case studies in pandemic, so I had to have case studies, relatives and close friends, because we were not able to meet other people. So relation with my family became different, because I had to work with my brother and knowing him so well, to see how his life changed during the case study, because he was living with us, with
Right.
my family. Yeah.
Wow. What changed in his life without sharing anything that he wouldn't want you to? Did what can you say a little bit more about the changes you saw for him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
physically, he lost his hand tremor. He had that daily shaking of the
Essential
hand.
tremor.
Yes,
Yep, yeah.
yes, essential tremor of the hand.
Yep.
And since then, there is no more essential tremor.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. So yeah, so wow. So even in your case studies, you were seeing very clear changes and improvements for people close
Yeah.
to you. You
Yeah.
mentioned, your passion for homeschooling and your children and becoming becoming an educator, which makes me wonder if you shared TRE with your children.
Um, at that time, they were little. Now my
Yeah.
daughter is almost, no, she's 15, and my son is almost 10.
Hmm.
Uh, it's hard to practice with your own kids,
Yeah.
because mostly in this period of adolescence and pre-adolescence, they are very rejective, let's say.
Yeah.
But mm, I realized that my own work makes the difference.
Got it.
How I speak to them, how I treat them,
Yeah.
how I tell them, explain them things like this and like that.
Yeah.
And I'm in my I don't know how to say in English. I'm in peace, knowing that my own work, my own body work with TRE makes a difference in their life.
Yeah. 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 Cool. Yeah. Okay, so in 2020, March of 2021, you had your certificate, and so then yeah, so then you got to work. What was it like develop? And again, this was being in a therapeutic work was new for as a career for you. I'm curious how was it to develop this new professional identity?
At the beginning, it was difficult. Maybe 2 or 3 years after, it was a little bit difficult. It was difficult to reframe my mental background with TRE.
Hmm,
It was a lot of work, a lot of personal work.
I see. Yeah. How did you begin to find clients?
I was offering sessions, uh, free TRE sessions, uh, with friends, to friends. And I did my work, a lot of personal work, and this opened the space for clients, and they started to come.
Hmm,
And explaining my vision about what the neurogenic tremor is, it made them curious to try to explore.
hmm. Wonderful. And in these, 5 years or that you've been working with it, how has your how has your practice of TRE changed at all, and maybe in terms of who you work with or special populations, or we'll in a few minutes we'll start talking about the fascial work perhaps. But if you look at these sort of 5 years of your what's been the evolution of your TRE style?
I work with organisms. I don't have a niche. I
Yep.
don't work with special kind of people. I work with everybody. I
Yep.
work with women. I work with men. I work with teachers, or I don't know. I was working with a special agent, a man. I work with kids. I work with
Mm.
teenagers. Everything that is opening for me in the field, I work with, because my vision is a personal hygiene of the body, of the nervous system. This is my vision about the neurogenic tremor, that
Mm.
he keeps the hygiene of the nervous system. It's like
Wait,
washing the teeth every morning, every day, just not because you have something, but because you maintain. So this
yep,
is how I work with TRE,
I
for
see.
maintenance,
Yep.
not
Yeah.
for healing, not for repairing something. No, just reframing the body. Um, and I like to say that the body is like an instrument that all the time needs to be, how you say in English?
Tuned or
To tune. Yes,
tuned. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
to tune to the biggest, to the big
Yeah.
orchestra.
I love that analogy. Yep. Tuned to the big orchestra. Well, what is the big orchestra? How big is the orchestra we're talking about here?
And we are starting from family
Mm.
and neighbors and the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I believe that if I take care of myself, I take care of yourself.
Yep. Yep. Wonderful. I love that. So yeah, no niche. You work with organisms, and however they
Yes.
show up. That's a good way to. That's a good way to think about it. Um, do you do a lot of individual work? Do you do a lot of group work? Do you do both? What do you resonate with?
I resonate more with the individual work. Yes.
Mm.
I like the most, but
Mm.
I love also small groups.
Yeah.
And from time to time, with my colleagues here in Brasov, we make bigger groups. And this feels also fulfilling.
You like that too. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about your interest in fascia. And you told me before we began recording that you started some fascial work and first did quite a bit for yourself, and then perhaps it started connecting to your TRE work. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was in 2023. I had a bad experience with a client,
Mm.
and that forced me to look deeper and to be more present in my in relationship with my client, and to be aware of what is happening and how things happen. And I realized that often clients um, like explore cathartic sessions,
Yeah.
and they are shocked. They were shocked in a way, and never came back. So I was thinking that not that something is missing, but that I need something else, not something else, but something more, to
Okay.
see deeper, something that softened the tissue.
Okay.
So what I ask, I receive, and I heard about fascia, and I heard about the guys from Human Garage, that they were explaining fascia in experiential way. like practicing on your own body.
Yeah.
And I started to work, to practice every day. I have 2 years of daily practice already. And what happened in 1 month for me was amazing. I like to be amazed, so I was amazed. Yes. I lost 20 centimeters on my belly just practicing every day for 30 days.
Wow.
So I was amazed, and I
Okay.
said, this work.
Okay.
So I continued my practice. During the daily practice with fascial maneuvers, I practiced TRE, and I saw that the neurogenic tremor enters softly in the tissue. There's nothing to be stuck, and that the electrical charge that happens when the neurogenic tremor is activated goes deeper and easier, and
Yeah,
no more cathartic experiences.
I see. So let me make sure I understand. So you're saying that what you were observing and learning was that if you or somebody else first worked through to soften the fascia through fascial maneuvers first, that your observation was that the tremoring could enter in more deeply,
And
and
easier.
that more easily, and you stopped seeing the kind of overwhelming or catharsis that was sometimes a problem. Is that what you're
Less
saying?
dissociation,
Yep.
less freeze,
Yep.
less fight and flight, less.
Wonderful. So when you use that integration, I would call that an integration of fascial work and tremoring. Um, how long do people do fascial work for 30 minutes or 5 minutes, or it depends? How long do we need if we're going to first soften our tissues and then tremor? How does that work?
I'm an intuitive person. So first I scan the body, I ask the question, and through this I decide if I have to do 5 minutes or 20 minutes or just the TRE exercises.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do the TRE exercises. Sometimes I do only the fascial maneuvers. Depends on the situation and also the intention that we have at the beginning of the session.
Right.
Sometimes I do fascial maneuvers at the end of the session.
Yeah.
Depends on the need of the client.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking for myself. Can I share briefly? I want to hear more because I watched a video of yours where you were talking about some of the biochemistry of the fascia and the tissues around and the changes over time with silicone and calcification and things like that. So I want to ask about that, but can I just share something briefly from myself? So my comment from when I first found tremoring about 14 years ago, my work was my full-time work at that time was doing structural integration body work, which is a form of myofascial release therapy. And and I would sometimes see, when I'm doing my hands-on fascial work, that sometimes people would spontaneously tremor, and we didn't and from my training we saw it sometimes, but we didn't have a good explanation. We didn't have a good understanding of why it happens and how to work with it. That's why I fell in love with TRE, because it gave me that whole piece of things. But when I was and now I don't practice as much of the myofascial work day in, day out, as I teach it, but I don't practice it all the time as much. But when that was my only work, and then I brought in TRE, that was my same experience. Very much matches what you're describing. Was that if and it doesn't to me? you could approach it through, say, stretching, like fascial maneuvers, or yin yoga, is about lengthening the tissues. One of the kinds of body work I do, we do very gentle releases that we hold for a long time. It's just like I'm the one applying the stretching. We call it a cross hand release, to lengthen those tissues. But I sort of so my own experience really matches how you're describing it. That if we can open up the myofascial system, and then bring in tremoring, sometimes it will go much deeper than if we are only applying tremoring alone, or the other way, that in fact having the two together is much better than just one only, in my own experience. So it's very cool to hear your learning around that. I wonder if you could share. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about this video that I saw, that you're talking about these biochemistry changes. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I understand experiencing and reading and searching. I understand that fascia is the receiver of the information, and it's water. Fascia is water. It's the fourth form of water. And when we are born, we are mostly silica. But growing, the bones get more let me say,
calcium.
Calcium, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In time, bones get more calcium, and the whole body becomes calcified more and more and more.
As part of the aging process, do you
yes,
mean?
It's part of the aging process, but I observed that it's accelerated during pre-adolescence and adolescence.
Okay.
When hormones start to be more active in the body.
Okay.
This is what I saw. I was observing also my children and how they grow and what happens in their body. And if the fascia remains hydrated, growing, it's easier, it's flexible, and the body grows organic, let's say.
Okay.
Working with fascia, I realized that the shape of my body changed.
I see.
So hydrating fascia influences the biochemistry of the body.
And the structure and the morphology of the body, the structure and the shape. So is part of what you're saying is part of, so when I hear that idea that through the stages of life and hormonal development, growth, stages of growth, and we become the more calcification and things like that. It sounds like you're saying that if as we go through our developmental stages, if we lose sight of our fascial health, meaning it can sort of get stuck, perhaps an injury, perhaps through posture, through lack of movement, that if we don't have a conscious relationship to our fascia, then in some ways we'll end up with a fascial system that's not as well hydrated and more calcified. But that if we are conscious and we attend to the fascia, whether that's through movement, stretching, tremoring, that if we can attend to that as the life stages develop, then that will improve our our tissue health and our myofascial health as we age? Is this part of your thinking?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. I understood until now that the fascia is the receiver of the information.
Okay.
And it needs to be hydrated to receive information.
I see.
And the nervous system is the transmitter of the information. Neurogenic tremor is what allows that information to flow through the nervous system to the brain, both to translate or to recalibrate.
Okay.
So to create new neuronal connections in the body. Well-hydrated fascia allows the neurogenic tremor to generate this new connection more easily, to create safety in the body, and to create that sense of rest and digest. And the next step is to access the space of creation. This is my vision about things work in the body. So this will keep, not that we will keep us younger, but helps us to improve our well-being.
And not only our well, but also our creative potential, our ability to do things. And is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to move and to live our lives easily.
Yeah.
Because a contracted fascia receives or not receives information.
Right. Yeah. I like this idea of that if the fascia is an organ of receiving information, if we look at the nervous system and neurogenic tremoring as perhaps increasing or as a communication pathway between the central nervous system, autonomic nervous system, and the fascial system as an organ of information. Is this
yes,
I like this? Yeah.
I want to share one experience. I was last year on the mountains. It was a place like this, like a, how you say?
A ridge, I think.
Yes,
Narrow.
And then was the
cliff or something.
Yes, the cliff. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was so scared. I was so scared. There were leaves. It was so unsafe to step because you don't know when they fall. And I was thinking, what happens if I fall? And I was so scared, and I was watching my eyeballs were out of my head. And for a second I had that thought, something my body said, feel with your feet.
Okay.
And I put my attention on my feet. I put my attention on my feet, and everything felt so safe because I saw the road with my feet. So in that moment, the fear disappeared. And I was able to cross that path easily without freeze or something.
Right.
So that was the moment when I realized that fascia is the receptor.
Because if you let it do its intended job.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. When my foot felt the ground, not my eyes looking.
Yep.
When my foot felt the ground, my nervous system became in charge and said, okay, we are safe, we can do this.
Yeah. That is such a great example. That is a really clear example. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. What are you still learning, or how are you applying, how are you applying this, your interest in the connection of the fascial work and the tremoring? Where is this leading you?
They already led me deeper in the body to mitochondria, because I discovered that the neurogenic tremor goes deeper in the cells And that electric charge activates the mitochondrial process.
Mm.
So now I discovered that this course in Harvard about mitochondria, so I'm going deeper,
Cool.
learning, and I'm so curious and amazed to discover how that space of creation I was talking about earlier
Right.
becomes more real and accessible
Mm.
for me and for the people I serve, and who knows for who else.
That's great. Yeah. I look forward to reading about that. I've been learning a little bit about mitochondria, not from a different perspective. I've been reading a little bit about the research from the exercise physiology, because if we certain kinds of exercise will enhance more mitochondrial growth and this and that. So I've been learning a little bit out from this perspective, but I haven't really I haven't studied for myself how the neurogenic tremor mechanism could be in relationship and correspondence to the metabolism system and the mitochondrial system. So I'm hoping you'll share with everybody what you learn as you study that connection.
I'm glad. I will be glad to do this. Now I'm happy that I discovered that, and I'm amazed about life because everything comes to me just like that, step by step,
Yeah,
and from that big picture of that big question. That's where I started. Who am I, and what am I doing here?
right.
Uh, I am right here at the cellular level and learning about division, cellular division, and the connection between fascia and nervous system and neurogenic tremor, and now the cellular division, and how practicing and not practicing, but allowing the neurogenic tremor to establish safety in the body. Um, can improve to the uh, to the cellular level.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool area of exploration. Yeah. Yeah, the physio, I think we are, I sometimes think we are, in terms of understanding the physiology, the neurophysiology of what are all the benefits of neurogenic tremoring. My feeling is we're maybe like, I don't know, 5% of the way there, if that, in terms of I don't think from a biological standpoint, I don't think we've traveled very far yet in terms of understanding the full. I think many people intuitively, anecdotally, the reason TRE is so successful as a practice is just like in your experience, you did it once and it was like you knew this was this important thing. That was an intuitive knowing. So I sometimes think that many of us intuitively know how it's not simply stress release. It's not simply relaxation. It goes much further than that. Um, but I think the science is going to have to catch up to that, our intuitive understanding over time. What do you think?
Neurogenic tremor is the love of my life for sure,
Mm,
and I think we already know. We just have to translate,
yep.
and the science is doing this through uh, observation and I don't know, all those test mechanisms that can show
Ex-
us, I
yeah.
don't know how to say in English, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that measure and what
Measuring,
happens in, yes,
experimentation and
yes,
measuring. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, and repeated actions.
Yeah.
For sure, science will reveal to us something that we already know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I call it natural intelligence of the body.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That makes perfect sense to me. Well, Oltita, this has been so rich and so interesting. Do you feel there's anything we haven't touched upon yet? Is there anything else do you think that we should explore or share?
Just at this moment, no. For sure, there are a lot of things that we can speak about and to explore about the neurogenic tremor and fascia. But for the moment, I think it's just enough. It's
Feels
just enough.
complete. Feels
Yes,
complete.
feels
Complete
complete.
for the first conversation. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, thank you so much. This has really been a pleasure to have this conversation. How can people contact you? Well,
Uh,
we'll put your information in our in the show notes. But yeah, how can people most easily find you?
I'm active on social media. I'm on Facebook with my name, and I'm on Instagram with my community name. I created a community where I support people. So I don't like to say support, where I'm in service for people, um, showing them how they can become more flexible with fascial maneuvers,
Hmm,
and from that how we can go to a different approach with the neurogenic tremor.
great.
So
What
the
is the
community,
what's the name
I
of
was
your
saying,
community? Yeah, yeah.
cosmosis.
Cosmosis?
Yes,
Nice.
osmosis of the life, but it's in Romanian.
Right. That's
Yes,
cool. I love that.
osmosis of the life.
That's
Yes.
lovely. I'm going to use that as our podcast title, Cosmosis. I love that. Um, okay, cool. Well, we'll make sure we put all that information in our notes so people can find you on social media and contact you. So if they
Thank you.
want to learn more. So very good. All right. Well, we'll land here for today, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alex.
That's it for today's episode. We hope you found inspiration and new insights into the power of neurogenic tremoring.
If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review. It really helps us reach more people interested in this transformative work.
And if you want to dive deeper, connect with us. Or to learn more about our sessions, courses, and upcoming trainings, head over to neurogenicintegration.com.